Welcome back. It is Expresso on S3, and on Tuesdays, we delve into all things relationship dilemmas, aka opening massive cans of worms. Today's scenario was inspired by Big Sean and Janae Aiko's recent story, and we're looking for your advice. So listen carefully.
Oh my goodness.
And then send through your advice. We actually want you to come through. This is great. 063-408-8863. But let's set the scene.
It's a big one, Carl.
It's a huge one.
I'm just saying, I'm into celebrities' lives like you know. I love the tea, and many people are talking about Big Sean, who recently shared in an interview why he hasn't proposed to his longtime partner, Janae Aiko, yet, despite their relationship, and also they share a child. They've got a child together. He mentioned that marriage isn't just a checkbox for him, but rather a reflection of their relationship's strength and also its stability.
Okay. Well, I mean, Sean does believe in nurturing their bond, as we've seen, right, first, and that marriage will follow naturally and organically. He also highlighted the fact that there's a certain importance of both partners being on the same page and working through challenges together. Given this context, there's a certain situation we'd love your take on. Do you want to set this up?
I think so. So if you were in Big Sean's shoes, how would you navigate balancing the expectations of marriage with the need to ensure your relationship is solid and secure? And then from Janae's perspective, from the girl's perspective, how would you handle the pressures and emotions related to the situation? I mean, I know how I would feel, but it's not about me. We want you to drop your thoughts and advice in the comments on social media, okay? You can find us at Expresso Show or hit us up on that WhatsApp line 063-408-8863.
Well, it's a sensitive topic, and we need somebody who is sensitive enough to handle it. We need professional advice. We called in the equivalent of the Ghostbusters when it comes to relationships. Vuyani Bue is here, a marriage counselor, a marriage officer, a motivational speaker, somebody who is now married to Expresso. So there's a lot of marriage going on with this man. Vuyani, welcome. It is a pleasure, a privilege to chat to you today.
Thank you so much, Carl. I'm glad to be here.
All right.
Yeah. Carl missed this, but the last time I think Zanele dubbed you Dr. Love. So now we're just going to continue with... He's really married to us now. Dr. Love is in the building. It's a tricky one, Doc.
Very tricky.
I can't believe it. I know that we're talking about celebrities, but I think that many people deal with this on a day-to-day basis as well. I mean, as Zanele too, can you agree, girl? You've heard your friends go through this. Perhaps you've gone through this. I don't know. Okay, maybe she'll let us know later.
Later, no, the thing is that she's building up the tea, and she'll release later. It's fine. I got you. It's cool.
Well, let's get into the first little bit about how men can actually balance societal expectations of marriage with personal beliefs, also about nurturing the relationship with their partner first. It's a tricky one to balance, but like, how do you even get around it, Doc?
Societal expectations are not the be-all and end-all. They cannot be an all-encompassing phenomenon where everybody is tied to this one thing. We mature and grow at different levels as persons. So you need to find who you are as Vuyani. Are you ready? Have you matured to be able to have someone in your life? Are you able to reciprocate? Are you able to be monogamous? What are your visions for the future? Are you able to contribute into someone's life as they will be contributing to you? Because societal expectations are not going to be staying with you. They're going to you're going to be staying with your partner. So it's like imposing societal standards on something that you are building. And this is not the time for that. There are certain things we can take from society which are positive, like morality and those things. But when you are going to run your life at my expectations, you may not reach your destination. So the beauty of two people coming together is them finding their center of gravity, is them building what will work for them. Because what will work for society might not function in this household. The dreams for this household, the dreams for this relationship are different to what society wants. So the biggest challenge you would have is expecting to run your life being fueled by someone else's expectations. It's a slippery slope to destruction.
It is, Vuyani, but remember we live in Mzansi. We have certain social and cultural dynamics here that I think are very unique to our land. We have a lot of family members who like to weigh in, and we can't avoid them. We can't not go to the braai, and we can't not go to the 60th party where we're going to get the aunties and uncles who are going to weigh in and say, like, when's this happening here? When am I going to get an invite? When is this happening? When's the child coming? When's the marriage coming? This is South Africa.
Of course.
So in light of that, I just need to get some real-time perspective from Zanele with regard to some of the pressures. I mean, you know what I'm talking about when it comes to societal pressures, one thing, but actually blocking it out is a lot more difficult in South Africa. Am I right in saying that?
You are so right, my Carl. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, me being a 30-year-old, I'm getting looks at the brides and the funerals and the weddings and all of those things. And they're like, oh, it would be so nice, yes, for some cows to come home. I'm like, go buy the cows, Kesana. But in any case, it really is one of those things where genuinely in South Africa, I agree with you, Carl, is the fact that there are always those societal pressures as well as that family pressure, especially when everyone else around you, that's around your age, is also getting married, having children and all of those different things. So you're so right in that regard. And that's why I think that, you know, I guess it is all about us having conversations like this on our Feel Good Breakfast show, so that even in the situations that we find ourselves in, we can actually feel good in saying, hey, everybody, own pace, own race. 100%.
There we go.
I like that.
Vuyani, do you want to just add on to that what Zanele said over there? So it's difficult to resist. So do you have some of the building blocks as to how we can start blocking that out? It's so tough in this country.
It's very important that you, as a person, do not live your life according to other people's standards. You will not be able to sustain them because you do not know where they are coming from. There's a generation problem where the older generation may have expectations based on their predisposition. And you are in another generation, you are pursuing different things. Somebody can be talking about children, but you are still building your career.
Yeah.
Do you then put your life on pause to satisfy societal expectations at your expense, at your time, at your resources? So it is very important to take what will work for you from society. There are good things that we can learn from society, but do not take the whole bucket with you. It may be too heavy and delay you as you get to your destination.
That's hectic. Okay, Doc, but we want to cross the line into marriage, right? And it is hard not to take on those expectations. But how do we then, okay, we've paused it. How do we strengthen the relationship now between the two of us and maybe communicate more effectively?
Strengthening the relationship requires intentionality. Immediately as you go into your relationship, what are you looking for? Because if you are ambiguous, you will not be loved the way you want to be loved. You may be loved.
That's a word.
You know, and this is why South Africa is having so many divorces. I love you, but do you love me the way I want to be loved? Do you understand my love language? So these are the things we need to discuss, because marriage is a lifetime. So if I'm going to be stuck with you, you know, with temporary commitment while we want permanent commitment, you know, then we have a problem. You know, am I able to be the best version of myself when I'm with you?
Right.
Are you contributing in who I am becoming? Or is this relationship taking a lot of who I want to be? I have to go beyond myself to be able to give life to this. Then that is not a relationship. I need to be myself. If I'm a mad cat, let this relationship allow me to be a mad cat. Because if I don't have to be myself in your presence, then in the future, we are not going to gel. We are not going to be in our element.
Vuyani, this is, I feel like we need a part two. In fact, we're going to add one anyway for you. Please add your thoughts to this one, 0634088863. And you can sing it from the rooftops about being yourself and allow people to integrate into your existing self, which is vitally important. And to allow people in that will accentuate that, that is key. But we'll unpack a bit more. Talking about singing from the rooftops, let's leave it to a proper singer.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is Expresso on S3, and yes, it is Relationship Tuesdays. Now, before the break, we announced our relationship dilemma. It's a tough one, but we've got somebody, an expert, in fact, that's going to guide us through this and make sure that we're all okay by the end of the segment, okay? Vuyani Bue, Dr. Love is what we like to call him.
Yeah, that's right.
A marriage officer, counselor, motivational speaker, many things. He's here to give his expert advice and get into it.
So the gist is, I'm going to put it as plainly as I can, when there is societal pressure to get married to someone, one person may be keen, the other one a bit apprehensive, but society steps in. Now you just want to say, yes, I should do it, or maybe, should I wait? But what about my family? What about my friends? What about, we've been together for so long, am I going to, waste the whole relationship by not getting it to the apex that is marriage? There's a lot of permutations around here. But thank you to you for sending in a little message, because sometimes, Vuyani, as you know, this is real life. It's not just Janae Aiko and Big Sean. Yeah. This is real people. Yeah. Anonymous sent in a voice note. Let's take a listen and see if we can help.
Good morning, Mr. Cowboysty and everybody on Expresso. Yeah, man, I know how the feeling is. I'm been getting it from my mother, my auntie, my grandmother. Everybody wants to know when I'm getting married. I've been with my fiance for 9 years. We have a child that is 4 years old. But, ish, what is the rush in life, man? Why does people want to rush us? We're young. Me, I'm only 25 right now, so why should I rush? That's my thing. My fiance says the same thing. And I mean, the engagement is like only now, like almost 3 years. 2 years, actually. It's 2 years.
You better get it right there, brother. Otherwise, it's going to be a very quick engagement. But no, so there's a lot of little pillars there that I want to just throw to you, Vuyani. As you can hear, pressure 9 years, kid in the mix, okay, 2-year engagement. You've got 3 pillars over there, Vuyani.
But also 25 years old.
And 25 years old. So 4.
4 pillars.
So I just want to throw that on your table. We're going to sit back and let you talk.
My goodness. 9 years.
Yes.
Tells me they know each other.
Oh, yeah.
Now, knowing each other and being ready for marriage are 2 different things.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So the length of knowing a person may not mean you know them well enough, or you haven't seen what you want to see for you to make that commitment. Because I've met people who says, when you know, you know. And it could be 2 months. When you know, you know. So it is difficult to make a call. But for me, the gist of the matter is, who is making the commitment? To whom is the commitment being made? And if those 2 parties know where they stand and are comfortable with where they are, I would rather you wait for as long as you want to wait until you are ready. It's like saying to you, we will teach you to drive. You don't have to have a driver's license. Just get into the car. You will kill so many people. You'll kill your passengers. You'll kill other people on the road because you are able to drive, but you are not licensed to drive. So if you are not ready for marriage, do not get married. This is about you, because you are going to be the man of the house, not the people pressurizing you to be married. So take your time, be in your element, ensure the stars align, ensure that you are in someone's life who values you in their life. 9 years is not going to appreciate you. 9 years is not going to love you. 9 years is not going to push you towards your dreams. I'd rather be in someone's life where I am able to thrive and be the best version of myself than to have 9 years. So it always goes back. Who is going to be the anchor for the marriage? Is it going to be the family? No. Who's going to be the father and mother to the child? Is it going to be the family? No. Who is going to be the sponsor of this whole life? It's going to be the man and the woman. Hence, the man has to man up. And the first stage of manning up is teaching your parents to respect the person that you are and the person you are becoming, and to ensure that your plans for the future, no matter how long they take, they are respected because you are going to live them.
Fiona, can we please elaborate on that? Because I feel like we've spoken a lot about the couple in particular, but we have said many times that there's a lot of societal and outside pressure. So can you please leave a word for the aunties in particular that keep asking us and badgering us, or parents that want to overstep, people from the outside? What will you say to them to respect those boundaries?
The most important thing you can ever do as a parent is to ensure that you allow your children to find their center of gravity and to ensure that you allow them to be themselves. A lot of young people are sitting in peculiar situations because they've made mommy happy. Mommy being happy all the time at the expense of the child may not be the best thing for the child. So we need to ensure that we give them the space so that they are able, because some couples are sitting with challenges where mommy is still in charge even though she is married. You want to choose a curtain, mommy must give an opinion. Now you are the head of the household as the man, and you are the matriarch in the household, and mommy is in charge. And there needs to be a stage where mommy lets go.
Sure.
It's not easy as a parent, but parents need to let go.
I want to say something to that as well. And this is by no means a defense on the parents, but a perspective, I think, that a lot of parents come from broken homes. A lot of the grandparents come from broken homes.
Oh, yeah.
So their intention in terms of forcing you to get married is to try and create the completed look of a family that they could not have. And that trauma tends to filter down generationally all the way onto you getting the pressure to get married. So just in terms of that, I think as someone receiving all of those, those, like, hey, when you're going to get married, when you're going to get this, when you're going to get that from the elders in the family, I think the best way to deal with it, and, when I did, it was basically listening to the message and not the tone for Yanni. The message was, I just want you to be safe.
Right.
The tone was, get married soon. And I wanted to listen to the message. And I think maybe for anybody who's irritated by that or even repulsed by their own family, instead of breaking a family and avoiding people, I feel like it's important to maybe listen to their message. They just want you to be safe. They want you to be in a good spot, as opposed to the tone that she's always saying, I believe that marriage is going to fix everything. That's their belief, not yours.
Exactly.
That's what I'm hearing from you here today as well.
Exactly. Marriage will not fix you. Marriage will not make you responsible.
Nope.
Marriage is like an empty bank account. It is what you deposit in it that will appreciate and bring interest.
These analogies today, these analogies, my friend.
So if you have no vision, you have no goal, if you have no parent will ever deposit that into you, and no marriage will ever make you a man. I've seen many married people, and you can see that this is a grown-up boy married to a honorable woman. And she is frustrated because she got into it. As I'm saying, it doesn't matter how long you wait.
Yeah.
Are you happy? Are you in your element?
Yeah.
Are you growing? Are you becoming the best version of yourself? Then, when you are ready, because when your mom is gone and your dad is gone and auntie is gone, what do you do with this mess that was supposed to be this life-changing experience that you have to sit with for the rest of your life? And I can tell you, this mess has to be resolved by a magistrate in a court of law.
Ooh, he knows it because he's been involved in many proceedings, many processes from the beginning to the end. Dr. Love, thank you so much. We have one more question coming through from our beloved Zanele. Let's hear from you. What's going down?
Oh, hi, my beloveds and Dr. Love. Vuyani, I wanted to please ask you, especially because of how, you said you should never get married because of other people. That should not be your sole reason or even your reason at all. Can I ask you, if somebody finds themselves in that situation where, unfortunately, you actually come to the realization as a couple that, maybe we got married for the wrong reasons, how do you salvage that? What would be the next steps to take to hopefully try and have the best marriage possible?
Thank you, Zanele. If the intention is good, any relationship can be rescued. If the intention is genuine, people can come to marital counseling where they'll be guided to gravitate towards building a proper relationship, because the proper building blocks of a relationship are two people who want to be in each other's lives, who want to contribute in each other's lives and in each other's well-beings. And that is why people like me are there in marriage counseling, to ensure that the relationship is guided to be where it's supposed to be, and for the people to have the best relationship they can ever have. And greater marriages are made because there are two willing people and who are willing to do the work and put in the effort in ensuring the relationship survives.
Amazing. Thank you, Dr. Love. Hopefully that'll be me and my person soon, when I find them. Thank you. All right.
That's great.
That's great. Well, take your time, Zanele, too. Please, girl, there's no pressure. You are so young and you are on the app, so do you, boo. We've got 2 comments on social media. Let's see what they're saying on the streets.
All right. Comments coming through. Let's find out. Anthea Langeveld, I agree with him. Marriage is a serious commitment. Rather take your time, build a relationship because of a good foundation. This is in relation to the chat that we had of Janae Aiko and Big Sean, and will stand the test of time. Too many people take it for granted and get married and divorced all willy-nilly.
Sure.
From Anthea.
Very true.
Hey, look at
That's a big one. Another one from Noak saying, people must state what they want in the beginning. Honesty is something that helps, but obviously adults lie and also they change their minds. That's true.
It's a lot. There's a lot of different remarks with regard to that, and I'm glad the comments are coming through. But I need to go back to that analogy you made. That marriage is an empty bank account.
It's an empty bank account.
Which I tell you what, a way to remember that is ATM, a thriving marriage.
Ooh.
You need to deposit all the positivity in
Another
there,
Dr. Love.
which is great. You can use that. It's another Dr. Mini Love for you. We can have a practice together. But that's how I'm going to remember it now. And I think it's so important what you placed in there. But there are ways and means to navigate this. But then again, to sit down and find out if the two people are ready. So let's go back to Big Sean and Janae Aiko now. The two people are ready. Okay, I need to ask you, and this is the curveball, and I'm so sorry. Forgive me. We've been talking about society, family. Okay, but now let's talk about the couple. You've been together for, let's just say, 9 years, like we had a little earlier with Anonymous. There's a child involved. One person is dead set on getting married. They want it. They want you. They believe that you are their future.
Yeah.
And you are not ready. And the interpretation there is that, A, this person's not on my same page here, but the person's just not ready and at that level. How do you even begin to navigate that scenario? I think that is something that a lot of people face today, where they are so sure they want to get married.
Just not
and
now.
the other one is just not now. But they want to in the future, but not now. Difference of opinion within the unit. Let's talk about that for a second.
The strength of a healthy marriage and the strength of a healthy marital life is not me wanting. It is the couple reaching a divergent point and gravitating towards marriage. There is something hugely wrong when I as an individual, because I in marriage becomes we. Immediately when I say I, that is a huge problem. Because when we grow together and we gravitate towards each other and we marvel together, we create something to behold, and eventually we will get to where we need to get. So if one is not ready and one is saying, I am ready, something is not happening. There's a communication gap. There's uncommunicated expectations. There are many things that are happening. These two people are at different wavelengths.
Sure.
And that is a disconnect. And this is what we are talking about. A marriage is not I want, you don't want, I'm ready, you are not ready. We are ready. And I will wait for you until you are ready. And I will contribute to you until you become, the person that you want to be. And when you found your center, and you found your gravity, you know. And when you are sure with yourself, you'll be able to pour into me the way I want you to pour into me.
Yeah.
At times we expect from people while they are becoming, and some people need to be given the chance to become the best version of themselves because what you will receive prematurely will devastate you.
Yeah.
Sure. Sure. I feel like I need to pay for this.
Oh
like,
my
I don't know. Like, I just
gosh.
want to take your card machine out, my friend.
You must.
A lot of people. South Africa is
Swiping.
willing to tap now into you.
Yes.
That was great.
I love what you said. Those lasting words were so important. But can I just say that from a woman's perspective,
Yes.
yes, be there for the journey, but not at your own expense. So you need to draw the line at some point. But we wish you well on your journey of making it to the altar. And if in doubt, there's always Dr. Lam.
Oh, yes.
Yani Bue was in the building.
Thank you.
And what great advice. Oh, my gosh.
It's been really great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
That is a deposit of knowledge that we needed in our lives here. Thank you for the inspiration. Of course, Zanele, there's many, many other things and other reasons to stay married to your Feel Good Breakfast show.